Welcome to Love of the Game, and you're with your boy SJ here. We're going to have a quick talk about a Love of the Game moment that involves the Matildas. First things first, I'd like to thank our major sponsor, Moxie Building Group, for a quality look and a pristine finish at an affordable price. The Moxie Building Group is your dream teammate. Thank you for joining me on Love of the Game. We're here to talk about the Matildas, and in particular, a Love of the Game moment during the Matildas game. Now, my wife isn't big on sports. She's not a sports head. She's not really of a sports fan. She's never been invested. But what the Matildas have done has captivated her. She's invested in every game. She's asking me questions. Man, we were watching the game the other day on Saturday when Australia beat France. Australia ranked 10th in the world, France 5th in the world in a quarterfinal. This is Australia's deepest run. They've never made it past the quarterfinals. And we had Courtney Vine stepping up in front of 49,000 people to send Australia to the semi-final. My wife was on the edge of her seat. I think a lot of Australia was. And what a moment. Courtney Vine slots the goal in and sends everyone happy. Everyone's in raptures. Thousands and thousands of people all across Australia in the streets celebrating. Now I'm going to break this down into 4 topics. Number 1, recognition. I'd like to thank the Matildas coach Tony Gustafsson and Sam Kerr. The reason why I like to thank them is they had a golden opportunity. A World Cup at home soil is a once in a lifetime opportunity. To capitalize on it and make the World Cup semi-final, kudos to you guys. Job well done. As I said, this is not an easy journey. Blood, sweat and tears these girls would have had to put into it. Injuries, rehab, physios. And they've got the job done. Next, I want to thank Channel 7. As mentioned before, kudos to you guys also. 5 p.m. on a Saturday is a tough schedule. 6 o'clock news has been a stalwart on free-to-air TV. And you guys put that aside to let the girls play. Interrupted. That helped with the game flow. I was invested in it. I've had lots of times where I've been watching the tennis. Can you please switch over to 7, mate? Nah, sorry, not interested. So thank you. You had a lot of eyes, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers stuck around and watched the whole game. Even the neutrals that don't even like soccer stayed around. Thirdly, my wife. She made me realize this moment. Not just for her sake, but also for my sake. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that a bit later on. Now let's go to number 2, the growth. I hate to say it, but let's be honest. If you go on Wednesday night to the Australia vs England game and you ask members of the crowd, who won the W League last year? Who won it? When does the season start again? I can almost guarantee you 60 to 70% will have no idea. Now, in the women's game that Australia have played so far, they have played in front of 75,000, 29,000, 27,000, 75,000, and their last game against France, they played in front of 49,000 plus. Let's put this into perspective. Courtney Vine, who sent Australia to the next round, she's been in the W League her whole life. Her whole career she's been in the W League. Do you know what the average crowd of the W League was last year? 1,260. As mentioned before, in Sydney, 75,000 fans. And I'm sure there's going to be 80,000 against England. The Western Sydney Wanderers W League team had 4 games this year with a crowd of less than 350, with the lowest being 200. And you had Courtney Vine come over there and slot the game-winning goal to send Australia through to the semi-final. And that's why she deserves it. It's the journey. It's the struggle. It's the nights. It's the days where she had no one around. Where she got tackled, had to pick herself back up. No one's there watching. All that to chase this dream that one day she's going to get this opportunity. And to get this opportunity on home soil, well done. Well deserved. Now this goes to number 3. Identity. As I said to you before, a World Cup at home soil is nothing to be taken for granted for. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And to have the team ready like this, kudos to everyone involved. Now the reason why I say identity is because I was watching a recent interview with Martha, who's a Brazilian stalwart, Brazilian legend, and she was emotional. In the interview she was crying and she was saying, when I grew up, I didn't have females to look up to. I didn't have females on TV playing soccer. Now I have mums coming up to me. My daughter looks up to you. Kids coming up to me and saying, I look up to you. I want to be like you. Kezi Apps, who plays in the NRLW, recently done a podcast where she goes, when she was asked the question, did you dream about playing footy? Girls never dreamed about playing footy. They never dreamed about playing sports. Until the age of 12, 13, there was nothing there left for her. And the reason why I say this, it brings me back to a personal story of mine. My sister. Now, we grew up together. She loved sports. Basketball, cricket, athletic, Oztag. She loved it all. Man, she never dreamed about playing sports. But she loved it. I don't even think she could make a career out of sports. And if she had the opportunity, I'm sure she would do things differently. My son, guaranteed, ever since I was a young boy, my son's going to be playing sports. He's going to be trying baseball, basketball, footy. Never thought about my daughter. Now I am. Thanks to the Matildas. Thanks to the NRLW. As I said, my daughter, my son, they might not enjoy sports, but they're going to get given the opportunity to play, to succeed, to build a career out of it. And this goes down to my number 4. Momentum. There is some serious momentum here. NRLW is expanding. The Female World Cup, man, FFA have to get onto this. The W League, strengthen that competition up. Get some big names. Man, I was looking at the sponsors for this World Cup. You got Qantas, you got Nike, Rebel, FFA. Take a risk. Take a loss if you need to, but build on this momentum. I see these kid vouchers for mums and dads to get their kids active. $100. I guarantee you there's a 5 or 6 year old girl watching this Female World Cup right now. The next Sam Kerr could be there. The next Courtney Vine. The next Mary Fowler. You got to market this well. As I said, man, here's a $100 voucher from the government. Strike a deal with Nike, with Rebel. If they sign up to play, here's another $100 to go buy yourself brand new boots. Get these kids interested. Because, man, I'm looking around these days. The parks, they're not getting as filled anymore. Kids rather stay indoors playing on their iPads and their phones. Get these kids active. Get these kids in team environment where they have to build social skills. Even if they're not the next, I guess, Sam Kerr or Mary Fowler, they're going to learn a lot of life skills. And this goes back to my other one for momentum. Australia is in a great position. Soccer is the world game. Whether anyone likes it or not, it is the world's game. Australian females, they have all the skills. All these guys, from their young, they play basketball, footy, Oztag, tennis, AFL, swimming. Everything's given to them. And if they choose soccer as their sport, the world's their oyster. And if we give them the avenues to succeed, FFA, give them a chance. Invest some money into them.